everybody, and welcome to the Dead Unicorn, the Tabletop Role-Playing Game Club. My name is Corey, and today we are talking about Celestial Realms, the supplement book, and we're going to do a live review here with Tarek and Sasha. Say hello, folks.
Hello, folks.
Good enough. So we spent 2 weeks reading this book because it's 150 pages and we're busy people and we can't, and I can't read like 100 pages in a day. I just can't do it. I gotta like 20 pages in a day. That feels good. I can get through a book like that, like this kind of a book, like this kind of a
textbook.
Yeah, a textbook kind of book. If I'm reading
I can, but I don't want to. It hurts my soul.
If I'm reading Discworld or something, like I can devour it. But if I'm reading an RPG, just like if I'm reading the Silmarillion, no.
No one can read the Silmarillion, and anybody who says that they have is lying, except for me. I'm telling the truth,
but everyone else.
Yeah.
Every time somebody makes a reference to the Silmarillion, they're really just making it up.
Yeah, exactly. Because you'll
and
never
they
know.
Expect that you haven't read it, so you won't know that
you
they're
won't
lying.
know.
The Silmarillion is the Ouija board of fantasy fiction.
The truth is, though, I have experienced the Silmarillion. I can't say that I read it, but my brother read it to me when I was younger.
Right.
He forced me to listen to him drone on about the Silmarillion because my brother is that kind of nerd. He was like, I'm going to devour everything. He read the Chapter House of Dune books in like 3 days. Over the course of 3 days, he read all of them. And I was like, dude, what is wrong with you? How are you like this?
Hi, Carlos.
Yeah, hi, Carlos. If you're seeing this.
Okay, welcome, Wargiz. Thank you for joining us. Decent character options for this late in the game cycle, but important GM setting info. I think this book is incredibly dense. They stuck a lot in here.
It's why I like it.
It's a good book.
I like it so much.
How much does the book cost? I don't have the hard copy.
Let me look at the back of the book and see if they printed it on the PDF.
Corey has it, right?
Let me get that over here.
Whip it out.
I just want to know if they printed it on the back of the PDF. I think I paid like $30 for this, or 40.
Okay, there is no price on the back of this book.
Really?
I think I want to say when I bought it originally, it was like $40.
Because I mean, for a $40 book, I would expect it to be packed to the print.
30 or 40.
Let's check Amazon. Amazon.com.
Dice app available where apps are sold.
It's not just like a reprint of existing content with minor fixes.
$30.06 American.
I'm not throwing shade at anything specifically.
$30?
$30.06 American.
For physical?
For physical.
Okay.
Mind you,
then I must have gotten a package deal.
I think.
Well, it might be. It's from Fantasy Flight Games. It retails for $39.95. So that's
$39.95. That's about what I remember.
That's
I thought
$40 on Fantasy. Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So
I remember
it's $40. You can, since it's been out for a while, you can probably get it for a little cheaper from other retailers. But
it does not come. Sometimes they come with a free PDF inside. This one doesn't. I don't see a free PDF code anywhere.
No, it didn't come with a free PDF code. You had to buy it separate. You had to buy it as a bundle, and it would come with a PDF if you bought it as a bundle.
Right. Yeah. Okay, well, let's get into this because I know some other I think Adventures in Rokugan had free PDFs, but that's neither here nor there. This is also a little older of a book, so
yeah, and it's beautiful. I love the cover art of this book. It is so gorgeous.
I mean, they got a big old splash page of it right here.
Yeah.
Just like on I believe the second page, third page in the PDF.
Yeah. The
art.
The art in a lot of these books is just breathtaking. I love the L5R art is just so beautiful. It's so atmospheric. It makes you feel like you're in the world. It's just so good.
So, do you want to talk about any of the fiction in this book? There's a couple stories and they're very short and they're kind of meaningless to me.
Yeah, they weren't as good. They're very like I don't want to say monotonous, but what's the word I'm trying to look for?
Forgettable?
It's like
They're forgettable.
Yeah, they're not. They're like meditative. You know what I mean? They're just
Oh
very
yeah.
like
Okay.
they serve a purpose, but they're not super exciting or impactful.
No, they're
But
slice
they're
of
good. They're
lifey.
well written. Um, but yeah, they're not. I'd say let's. There's so much stuff to get to in this book. I'd say let's just dive
All
in
right,
and
chapter one,
jump.
Bond of the Realms. It has this great artwork of a little kid in a snowfield looking right into a tree hollow that has lush, fertile land, the fertile forest
Looking,
with bunny rabbits and
And that
foxes.
whole
it's a hole to Chicken Domo.
Chicken Domo. That is a very in joke for just our gaming group.
Chicken Domo.
Chicken Domo. We'll get to that soon, but the first thing we're going to talk about is the cosmology of Rokugan. And the cosmology of Rokugan, for the most part, is very Star Wars planet. Like, you know, you have desert planet, ice planet, city planet. Here you have the kind of the same thing, but with realms, you know?
Yeah.
That's the traditional fantasy thing, just like in D&D and in Pathfinder.
Yeah.
It's all like, here's each of the elemental planes, and then here's light, and here's darkness, and here's evil, and here's good. And...
It very much feels like that kind of old world, like other places and other worlds are actually, you know, just what is like 2 days journey in any direction.
Yeah.
Like, you know, well, we live here in the forest, but if we travel two days out, it'll be desert, and those people are crazy weird, and we don't talk to them. it's,
Yeah.
it's like, oh
That's
my
what
goodness,
Gaki are.
we like Wawa, and they like sheets,
And I'm an HEB person.
I shop at Fry's.
You'd be
not
Buc-ee's.
Fry's food stores, Fry's Electronics.
Oh god.
Stronger than all of you.
Anyways, you got your like realms above, Tengoku and Yomi. You have your realms beside, which is Senkyo, Chikushiro, Sakaku, and Yumedo. And then your realms below, which there are 3 of those: Meido, Gakido, Toshigoku. Oh, and then actual hell, which is Jigoku.
Yeah.
And is there anyone you want to really talk about? Because like they go into like a decent amount of detail for you to go ahead and run them and play them. They all feel like they're the size of, I don't know, the greater New York State area.
They all kind of feel like they're the size of like a demiplane. To me.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but some of them feel like they're the size of a demiplane.
The difference between what is it, Senkyo and
Like Jigoku's gotta be
Chikushiro.
like infinite, but
Chikushiro being the that's like the Meido for animals, where we've always interpreted it as the place, like the animal spirit place, but actually Senkyo is the animal spirit place, and Chikushiro is the wheel that allows animals to reincarnate. That was, I'd never heard of Senkyo before, and now I know Senkyo exists.
Right.
And that's where all the sentient shape-shifting animals are. And then Chikushiro is the path.
There are 2 animal realms, and they like have an umbrella term for them, right? So,
yeah, and it's Senkyo. Senkyo is the umbrella term.
Senkyo is the umbrella term, and Chikushiro is like the realm of animals who are like helpful and good and nice, and they're like.
It also says that that's where they reincarnate.
Yeah.
It's the guide for how these animals reincarnate.
And Sakaku is like
Sakaku is
like mischievous animals, like the crows that take your jewelry, and the foxes who want to do sex to you and stuff like that.
Sakaku was also, I don't know if you remember this, but Sakaku was also the realm
thinking
where
like the foxes that like raid your chicken's coop, but no, the foxes that want to sex you.
This is Japan stuff, so yeah.
Fair enough. So the octopus that want to sex you.
Do you remember
too,
that Sakaku was also where Mujina come from?
Yes.
I thought that was weird that they are not animals in any form, way, shape, or form, but they're just trickster spirits that the crabs subjugate into mining their ore for them. Like, it's very, very rude.
Come, Trixie Vixen, have an axe.
So,
Rock
A
and
pickaxe.
stone.
Rock and stone, brother. Rock and stone.
like, I would love if, like, Senkyo and Chikushudo and Sakaku, these guys, like, you know, you meet an old monk that is like a cow, an oxen, and he's just kind of like walking, you know, with his big staff and big beads around. Like, it gives me big, Chikushudo gives me big,
You're about
Usagi
to do it.
Yojimbo energy.
You were about to do chicken domo.
Chicken Domo. Okay, so it's just a mispronunciation. We were just like, what's the animal realm again? The one with the chicken domo? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Oh God.
That's all it was.
Somebody at our gaming table couldn't pronounce it. They were like, what was that place? Chicken domo?
Chicken
Oh,
domo.
Lord.
They said it in like a southern accent too.
Chicken domo.
And so forever afterward we kept, because we had a character in the game who was a fox spirit from Chikushudo, and one of the other characters was like, what's that place called you're from again? Chicken domo. And then immediately for the rest of time, anytime somebody was bringing it up, it was always chicken domo.
I'd like
Thank
you to
you for
understand. I'd like you to understand right now that Chicken Domo is not a place. Chicken Domo is a person. He is the major domo to the high chicken priest. He is the Chicken Domo.
Chicken priest, chicken domo.
Chicken
The
Domo.
high chicken priest is the KFC mascot.
Yeah. Chicken domo has the most succulent of chickens.
Okay, we're gonna move. I like how they explain, like, Jigoku. Hey, once upon a time, it was just a place where really evil people could like burn off their sins, and then Fulong came in and just destroyed all that, and was just like, hey, now we're gonna just take over everything.
Once he cratered in, he was like, hey, this is my place now. All of you guys, you serve me. No getting out of here.
You're my bitches for eternity.
I'm mad that my brothers didn't come and save me from this hellish hole.
I'd be mad too. Fuck them.
Fuck everybody.
Passing through the realms, I mean, it basically says just do what you want. Make it sound epic and cool. And
yeah.
Let me see.
It gives you some ideas on what you could do to kind of spice it up if you don't already have some, but I'm pretty sure anyone who's been playing Elphivor long enough will probably have some of their own ideas of how this.
You just seen Spirited Away, and you're inspired by that movie.
Yeah.
Let's go to the fortunes. They introduce some more fortunes that are lesser, and kind of flesh them out for people, like who is Osana Wo actually, and they still really don't give much on Osana Wo.
You didn't bring this up really quick, but the artwork on the Celestial Realms, where each realm is a part of this giant woman, is awesome.
I have a full color map of that. I could hang it on my wall if I wanted.
For educational purposes, right?
I think
no other reason.
Her boobies are Yumido, the realm of dreams.
Exactly how it should be, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Nope. Nope. No.
When you dream, you go into the bosom of a goddess.
And her crotch is hell. So fitting.
There we go.
Nice.
Hey.
Yeah, that's the good stuff you get when you buy a physical copy. Anyways, it's a really good visualization of where all of the stuff is. So, it goes through. It kind of goes through a lot of detail for each one of the realms, and it has a heavenly hierarchy. It kind of goes into what the elemental dragons are, what the moon is. Anything there like the Kitsu or no. I mean, it's all good stuff. It's good stuff.
Amaterasu, Anatongu, the elemental dragons, Ryujin, the Kitsu.
So there's talk.
The Celestial Port.
We can talk. I mean, there was talk when they were saying, "Hey, we need to change things from Shugenja to Shindoshi." They were also saying, "Hey, using real gods isn't like great because people are still like worshiping them and making them for your fantasy game. So there was talk of like changing Amaterasu and Onotengu to different, and I was like, guys, then why did you reset canon?
Yeah.
Like, they already replaced the sun with Yakamo and the moon with Hitomi. Why would you
get rid of that? Yeah.
You messed up.
That gives you
did they end up making those changes or not? Like,
they
did
not
change the name? They did not.
No, they did not. And personally, I don't see it as a bad thing. Mainly because it teaches other people about I guess real religions.
Like, the actual culture that this is pulled from probably doesn't appreciate it, and that's the issue.
I mean, a lot of people in Japan most of the people that I've met or talked to who are Japanese and fans of L5R don't seem to have a problem with it.
That's because they're fans of L5R. If they had a problem, they probably wouldn't be fans.
Let me say this. When a movie comes out, or let's just bring it down to a role-playing game. When the new, Vampire the Masquerade source book comes out, do people get really mad that they made Cain and Abel like characters in their vampire book? And
I bet you some people do get real mad about that, yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
But I don't know if we want to go into that.
But, for the most part, our culture doesn't care. So I think, these fringe people, yeah, they get upset. I don't care. The main zeitgeist, that's what matters the most. And really, if it's good,
as satanic anyway,
if it's good enough for our own religion, I mean,
yeah, I mean, I think as long as it's done with some kind of respect to it, which it is in L5R, there's lot of respect and kind of understanding.
I will say definitely it feels like there's way more respect in L5R towards these topics, even things like seppuku and all these things, than there is for D&D toward all of these similar topics. D&D just doesn't really care, but L5R does.
In D&D, it's just you're a cleric, you worship a god and get your powers, but we don't actually talk about that, or that really doesn't. Who cares? And if you do talk to a god, they're like your bro, and they come down and they kind of usually they come down when all is lost, and they come down and part the Red Sea, and then they're like, cool guys, and then they go back up and they're like
or they smush you with their thumb.
Yeah,
the other thing they do.
The other thing they do is they come down and they punish unruly players that the game master doesn't like, and that happens too.
Yeah.
But otherwise, there's no singing of if there was a Dungeons and Dragons book of hymnal songs for each one of the gods, that would be cool. No, there's nothing like that. But here they we're gonna skip forward to the shrines and.
Hold on. Before we skip forward, I just want to point out the Sodan Senzo area, because it is, in my opinion, really cool that they gave a class the ability to kind of explore these specific realms. And I love the fact that they finally expanded upon the Sodan Senzo and the Kitsu and what that means, how important that idea is.
I passed it. Yeah.
It's 19, page 19.
Page 19?
Yeah.
I didn't pass it. 18, 19. Got it. Sodan Senzo.
Yeah. Where they talk about the Kitsu and the Sodan Senzo, and the fact that the Kitsu have this capability of being a medium for the realms, and then later in the book, the class.
They give them a new school for it, yeah.
It feels really cool. I really like that idea that they actually took time to explain and go into some detail for how the Kitsu work, because that's, I think, really a fascinating class to explore.
So the lower realm, starting with Meido and down, is just a freaking mess. Not like writing it was a mess. It's well thought out, well told, but there's, while the Celestial Heavens has all the gods, you only have King Emma, right? King Yema,
Yeah, M-O.
M-O, and he's he's created his own like court for the lower areas. He's delegated a lot and can't manage it all. And because of that, things are not going well down there. I believe Toshigoku has been replaced by a demon instead of Emma's pick. And all that kind of stuff. What's that one? Gakido is just one giant, big, dilapidated town.
Yeah,
that's
of people
fun.
eating each other.
That's kind of cool and fun. It reminds me of what's that called? There was the horror guy who did the Spiral manga, and in the Adult Swim translation of that, they made a longhouse that went on forever, and it spiraled, and you had to like get through these row houses to get to the center.
Yeah,
and that kind of reminded me of that, and I was like, that's kind of neat and kind of cool.
That is kind of neat. The sprawling, massive city underneath is just still dilapidated and destroyed.
So the thing is, they don't eat each other. There's nothing to eat. There's no like things to eat there. So they have to like ponder their eating habits. Like, is my gluttony, ruining me? And Daikoku goes down there and like gives them food.
Yeah.
Toshigoku is Realm of Slaughter. If you like fighting each other, then you fight each other for eternity. And that's supposed to teach you a lesson.
Yeah.
Do the thing you love forever.
Fighting is awesome. Yeah.
I mean, eventually you're going to get your ass kicked and you're not going to think it's so awesome anymore.
Well, yeah, then you fall into the blood river.
And it kind of reminds me of like, hey, you like smoking cigarettes? Well, let's smoke this entire carton of cigarettes and see how much you like smoking it then.
I thought it was more like, you enjoy smoking cigarettes? Let's put you in a loop where you would inevitably get lung cancer. And then and hopefully you'll come to a realization that smoking cigarettes is bad.
Remember that?
Maybe not.
Remember that episode of The Simpsons where Homer goes to hell and gets ironic torture, and they put him in a donut eating machine, and he's the happiest he's ever been.
It's a what machine?
A donut eating machine.
Oh God!
So it just keeps feeding him donuts. And they run out of donuts in hell before he wants the torture to stop because he's enjoying himself.
Yeah.
They should have put bees in the donuts. They never take my suggestions.
I think the idea behind Toshigoku of forcing you to fight, eventually everybody has to learn the lesson that defeat is inevitable, because it says there's like overzealous generals and stuff like that, and you're just constantly at war.
Yeah.
And war is a miserable thing to have to endure over and over and over again. So I imagine at some point you either go, huh?
Yeah, you're supposed to either like get bored of the fighting because you figure out it's pointless. Like, in the movie War Games, the only way to win is never to fight at all. Or just like see what war does to the world around you and go, oh, maybe I'm the one who's the idiot.
Maybe I'm the problem.
What were the Lords of Death called again? The unicorn Lords of Death. I forget what
they were
they're
just
called.
called the Lords of Death. I thought. Maybe
they had a name too. It started with an S. I don't remember what it is.
They're not in here.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Is they're not in Toshigoku, but later in the canon they became the Lords of Toshigoku. They took over.
Is it Shinigami or what?
No, it's not Shinigami.
No, they do have Shinigami in here though. But the problem is they don't give them any stats or anything. They're just like, they exist.
Well, some things maybe you're not meant to fight. I don't
know. So that's the realms. There is a companion adventure that goes with this, and it lets you go through hell. like it's part of hell. You wind up in Meido. Emma O's like, hey, I need you guys to figure this thing out, and it's a mystery that's in Jigoku, so I'm going to transform you into Oni with these masks. You're not actually Oni, but it'll protect you. And then you go to
make you look like
Jigoku. Actually, this map, I think this was from was it from
The Adventure?
I think this was from The Adventure, actually. Yeah.
Mask of the Oni?
Yeah, Mask of the Oni. No, it wasn't Mask of the Oni.
It was Sins of Regret.
Wheel of Fortune? Wheel of
Sins of Regret? I thought it was Sins of Regret.
Sins of Regret is the Ronin one.
Oh, fuck.
Mask of the Oni is the Shadowlands one. This one is Wheel of
Time. No, that's a book.
Fortune. Wait, that's a show.
Wheel of Cosmic Destiny.
Wheel of Cheese.
I could just go look at our live playthroughs and it'll be in there somewhere.
Here we go. Wheel of Morality. Turn. Tell us the lesson that we should learn. It's Wheel of Judgment.
Wheel of Judgment. Wheel of Judgment. We have a playlist on our channel. Go check it out.
Yes. Early to bed and early to rise makes a man... No, early to rise and early to bed makes a man wealthy but socially dead.
There you go.
That's what it was. There's a huge thing on...
By the way, in Toshigoku, before we move on, I also really like the Erased. The, like, thousands and thousands of lion warriors that are just faceless fucking murder junkies at this point.
Oh, like the lion.
Very fitting for the lion getting tortured forever in Toshigoku for the wars.
Yep. And a lion river is actually like in Toshigoku as well. And
yeah.
Okay, shrines. Shrines, they got spiritual traditions, they got sample shrines. Yeah, these are great. They walk you through how to make a shrine, why what's important for a shrine. You can role play as much of this as you want or as little of this as you want. Yeah, right?
Yeah, I like the idea of the shrine creations, and they also have like the creations of different faiths later in the book as well.
You want to just go past that because I mean, there's only so much that we can say about the shrines other than, yeah, they're great and you should read them as a game master and decide how much of that you want in your game. But the religious
there's also
cults
a lot of interesting adventure hooks that go along with the shrine. So if you wanted a more spiritual based campaign, you could have that with this extra information. But
religious cults is where it's at, because the cults of the moon cults are great, right?
Yeah, the religious cult.
Like, in my Sages of Shinnemin series, I tried to, I guess, I don't know, I was channeling this book without, reading it totally, I guess. Looking back, would I have done anything different? Only on, like, setting up where these people were and what their temples looked like. Right?
Yeah.
I probably would have changed a little on what the temples looked like, rather than what they did, because they were quintessential cults.
Yeah.
But in here, the moon cult, I love this. I love this idea that, you go to work and everybody has that strict hierarchy, and then you go to moon cult afterwards and everybody's partying and you can tell your boss off, but then like the next day your boss is really mad at you for what you did at moon cult.
How dare you?
And then there's moon people who are on these little moon barges.
The fun moon barges too.
And they don't say whether moon people exist or not. That's up to you as a game master to, codify whether moon people exist in your L5R world.
They talk about your shadow brand in here.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit.
Nari. Just a little bit.
They also talk about the blood speakers.
They do. They have a whole thing about blood speakers. But I just want to say, I put out a video on the Lying Darkness. This book, while it talks about kind of like the Shadow Brands, it still doesn't say whether the Nothing or the Lying Darkness or anything like that actually exists.
Yeah, which is silly.
And I'm
need
like,
to have it.
Are they holding out on us for a really good story in the future? Or are they like dropping that villain? Because I love that villain. And I think like there are some flaws in the Lying Darkness story that could be addressed. Right? Like, first off, naming the Lying Darkness Akodo was a terrible idea.
Yeah, horrifying idea.
It's stupid.
Which one's in Akodo? Is that Lion?
Yeah.
A lion, yeah. They
Look at
named,
me, I'm starting to remember crap.
They named the
So
Lying
proud of
Darkness
myself.
Akodo and sent all of the Akodo into exile, basically, as a result.
Even though it's
It resolves itself later.
I mean, wouldn't the actual way to get rid of it is to find out Goju Adorai's real name? It's like he's Adorai, and then you find out he's actually Goju and what his real past is, and then you name him that, and then it kind of breaks him and brings like his entire identity back to him, and that it breaks the Lying Darkness's power. That would have been a good, compelling story where villains get redemption and there's real.
Yeah, but remember, the history of L5R was written by the victors of a card game.
Exactly.
they hated the Lion Clan, and so they named it Akodo.
fair enough.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Gotta get great cards, scrubs. Make your
Yeah.
own lore.
Part of the cards, baby.
blood speaker cults. They got 2 different kinds of blood speaker cults here. Do I do the voice? Do you want me to do the voice?
Yes, you. Of course, you got to do the voice.
Gotta do the voice. Blood speaker.
Don't do the voice.
Blood speaker.
Owie.
Ow.
Blood.
At least it's not Parrot's incel voice.
Blood.
That's all.
Blood.
Nothing worse than that.
That's the best voice I've ever come up with.
It hurts.
I know.
What's your voice?
I'll show you after the stream, so that way I don't torture a bunch of people.
You don't want it recorded live. You can experience the pain after.
Yeah.
So I love I'm not too big on the blood speakers that like grab artifacts and stuff. The gatherers aren't the good ones. The summoners are the cool ones. The ones that are like, you know, the realms that we all talked about. There may be more that we don't know or inaccessible, and the summoners are totally obsessed with that, and they're gonna summon beholders or shit like that, aboliths, and
Humans.
they're gonna turn people into fish people, and you know,
And then
People.
praise the sun.
so yeah, they go beyond what or they believe that they can go beyond what is normally out there considered like part of the realms. And I love that. I'm like, yeah, there's all these realms. Why aren't there more?
We'll find the night without end.
Then we go into the Phoenix Clan. A very nice map. It has Amaterasu on it, shining her love down on Phoenix lands. It's nice, right?
Yeah.
And
Except part of it's on fire.
What?
You don't see the forest
page?
fire?
yeah, there's a big forest. Actually, it's like a demon, a
On
forest
53.
demon.
In the middle of the forest, there's a big fire.
And that's a dude. That fire is alive. Look, it's got like pecs. It lifts.
Yeah.
I'm gonna zoom in here.
I'm sure they deserved it. That's all I'm saying.
I'm pretty sure that's just like one of the Asawa training
Oh,
in the
dude,
fucking...
that's a freaking bird. That's a ho-ho.
Oh,
with, like,
it's a
huge-
ho-ho?
Yeah, it's got a beak. I zoomed in. I zoomed in
Oh. I
really,
gotta zoom
really
in further
tight.
to see it.
It's where the Phoenix lives. Is
Yeah,
that it?
it's the ho-ho. It is. Oh my god, it is.
But it doesn't have like
That's cool.
wings. It's got like bird hands.
Oh, it's a monster. I see a face.
Gisai
and
Yeah, you
Toshi.
can-
claws.
Isn't Gisai Toshi the hidden city? The forbidden city?
Yes. Gisai Toshi is, and it talks about this is where all the evil artifacts are.
All the artifacts that they didn't trust anybody to have.
Yeah, they put it in a city that's inaccessible and no one can get there. And
Oh wait, no, is the Ho-Ho at the south? I meant the north fire.
no, it's up in Asawamori.
Yeah, in Asawamori.
It's between Gisu Castle and Asawa Castle, Asawa Elemental
like a
Academies.
monster. It's like a
There's a
little
bear.
fire demon.
There's a bird demon fire guy.
Yeah, it's a bird demon.
If you zoom in, you can kind of see its head facing right, and then little
Yeah.
claw arms. Like,
Yeah, little claw arms. Yeah, I thought for a second I thought Corey meant the little phoenix in the bottom forest near Lionlands.
No, there's another one, isn't there? There's another one way down here under Violence and behind Cortlina City.
Yeah,
Yep.
and then that's the actual phoenix. That's the bird.
Yes.
Which is funny because Violence behind Cortlina City is a lion crane territory.
Squad, not anymore, bitch.
There's also in this picture. This is a hunt. Can you find the giant centipede?
Yes, it's in the Valley of the Centipede.
What about the frog?
The
There's a
frog,
fish, and
yeah.
There's a spider, and there's a giant lion head.
There's a
and
wasp.
crab.
Do you see the wasp?
There's a big bug, the wasp over Shiba Castle.
Yeah.
There's a kitty cat for Castle of the Cat for the Cat Clan. There
There's
is a
crab
cat
in
clan.
the water.
There is a cat
Crab.
clan.
There's
A
a
snail.
There's a fire in the water.
There's a big fire vortex.
There's also a giant spider in the mountains.
That's what I said.
Yes. That actually caught my eye the first time. I was like, what is that? I love that. And big old paw
I love it.
prints,
It's like
kitty
a
paw
Where's
prints
Waldo,
and
but
Did you see the
Dragonlance.
snail?
for secrets. Yeah, I saw the snail with its little snail trail too, coming from the city.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's got a snail trail. And then out in the ocean, there's a tiny but
Crab.
big crab with like fangs, like underbite fangs. Okay,
I love it.
we've gawked at it long enough. I hope you all enjoyed that.
We had our little autistic moment.
Each one of the families has their mon labeled. This is not in all of the books. I think maybe this was the first book they started putting out the individual family crests, and they do it for the Phoenix here, which is amazing. And then they go ahead and start talking about the Centipede Clan, and they don't put a Centipede Clan mon.
I thought they did put a Centipede Clan mod.
No,
I was
they
looking at that
didn't.
earlier.
I looked up and down.
No, they didn't.
No, they got a centipede art, like a centipede there, but not.
A centipedal.
Anyways, they didn't change much about the lore of the Phoenix. I don't think they changed anything at all.
No, I don't.
Except
I don't
for
think
the
so.
wait, except for the Kaito.
Kaito.
The Kaito. That is the big change. And you don't want to know something? It's a welcome one for me. I like the Kaito.
Well, the Kaito existed in the old lore. They just didn't have the same purpose. They were shrine guardians, but they had like spearmen.
I don't remember
they were
them at
more
all
like-
from the old lore.
They were more like samurai spearmen.
I don't remember them at all from the old lore, but I gotta say, like, making this family, because like otherwise the Phoenix don't have enough families, and I think that's
Yeah.
kind of why one of the dragon families went over to the Phoenix, is to round them out in the old lore. But just giving them the Kaito makes sense to me. Have you read the book with the where they? So I have the book where Kaito becomes a major family.
Yeah, no, I haven't read that, but I do know that in the old lore, if I'm not mistaken, they were a vassal family of the Shiba family.
Actually,
then
they were
they-
vassals of the. In here, they're vassals of the Asawa.
Yeah, they were vassals of the Shiba family, if I'm not mistaken, and then they were like the shrine guardians.
This I don't think they sell anymore. But all of these stories in these like novelettes are part of the Great Clan's big novel, and you can get that, and that's still in print, and that is also, you can get it as an ebook or whatever. I don't know. Do we want to do like book reading club for
Book
like
club.
novelettes and stuff?
I'd have to get access to them first.
That's no problem, man. What are you talking about? Easy
Just
peasy.
steal.
Anyways, I like them. I like what they do. I believe that their school is in the main book.
It is, yeah. They do have a school in the main book.
So chapter 2 has this splash art that is just, I wish it didn't have all the words on it. I just want this piece of artwork. It's got Amaterasu, over like this village, over mountains and stuff. It's so cool looking. It's on page 68. And it is supremely epic looking.
Oh yeah.
It's so good. Who did this art?
I have no idea.
Hats off to you, buddy. And they're like little planets around her too. I didn't even notice the little planets.
The little orbs.
Orbs. Ponder the orb.
So what do you think about the Centipede clan as a whole?
I've always liked the Centipede clan. I felt like their inclusion in the Mantis clan was always like wrong to me. They deserved to be their own clan for the longest time, but they joined the Mantis for some reason back in the day. And I like the fact that they are their own thing now and they're not conglomerated. They're like tied to Amaterasu, their devotion as like holy people, and being super honorable, being connected to the fires. They have been a spiritual like center of Rokugan for so long that attaching them to anyone else feels like wrong. They feel right as a independent body that is like spiritually focused on honoring Lady Amaterasu.
I don't think I really got them before I read this chapter on them. I have a much better feeling for them. I don't know why. It seems like they have zero allies. Everybody hates them. The Phoenix hates them. The Lion hates them. The Lion's like, Centipede? You mean Lion? Yeah, I'm like, what? The Phoenix are like, Centipede? You mean Phoenix?
Yeah, the Lion have that opinion about every minor clan because almost every minor clan came from the Lion at one point or another. So like they're always like, they're us. Just bring them back in. Or we'll kill them all.
I don't know why all 11 daughters of Asawa Azami are like, we're gonna make a back history for every single one of the daughters. I'm like, okay, I don't know why that's important, but okay.
That's a lot of tampons.
What?
I said 11 daughters. That's a lot of tampons.
It's a lot of upkeep, that's for sure.
Well, the thing is the Moshi are like, they're more women than men. For some reason, like they will pump out little girls more than they'll pump out little boys, and nobody knows why. And that's why they have to go to other clans for like suitors and such.
Obviously, it's because they're awesome.
My assumption is that it has something to do with the same thing that the reason why Kitsu also have mostly daughters. That their attenuation with the spirits or the spirit realms cause them to produce more daughters than sons, because the Kitsu have the exact same problem. Remember, they have way more women who are Kitsu than they have men. So like and they want to keep the bloodlines as pure as possible. So each male Kitsu that's born has to breed with like 30 different Kitsu women in order to keep the bloodline going.
So it's Harem City.
They got cool.
Yeah, if you want to play a character who just gets all the ladies and doesn't even have to try, play a Kitsu man.
So
you have to be a Soden Senzo. If you're not, then you're fucked. They just throw you out.
On the Centipede, like they sound great. Everything kind of lines up except for one little piece of fiction, which I have questions about, and that is their place on the map. It says that these Phoenix found a fertile valley, and before they became the Centipede clan, and they cut themselves off from the rest of the Phoenix. And if you look on the map, they do have this little valley, Valley of the Centipede, right? Castle of the Centipede. And the Castle of the Centipede is at the mouth of this river. And they say this river is the biggest trading river through like Lion lands. I think this river goes all the way to City of the Rich Frog.
I was thinking that looking at the map.
Yeah. So my question is, if this is such a great, like, this is an important river mouth,
why would anyone let them have it?
Why? Not just why would anybody let them have it, but like, why wasn't it discovered before the centipede got there, or these couple Asawa,
Phoenix?
yeah, that were
Yeah.
like, hey, we're gonna call ourselves Moshi now. Like, that makes no sense. It should have been discovered kind of instantly.
It kind of was discovered if you look at where they placed the castle of the Emerald Champion, and I'm assuming they got to hold on to it because the Emperor made them a minor clan. Right?
I think probably they were like, hey, we're just gonna give them the mouth of this river too. Like, they were just gonna have the mountain range and the valley. But like, in my headcanon, because of the service that the Centipede did for, I believe it was the Emerald Champion at the time, that the Emerald Champion was like, here, have part of my domain, which is this mouth of this river. It was Imperial lands, but now I'm giving it to you.
Yeah, because the Emerald Champion can also look over at them at any point in time and be like, yoink, just kidding now, or just keep watch over that area. And they also know that the Moshi are very like honorable people, so it's not like they're going to use it for smuggling routes or anything like that. And if they find anything, the Emerald Champion can be keeping a close eye on it.
Sure.
I mean, it kind of makes sense, but it also is like people would be fighting wars over that territory.
That's my headcanon. That's my headcanon on why they have the mouth of that river, is solely based on the Emerald Champion. They didn't have it at first. It wasn't theirs, and it was given to them by the Emperor when they became a minor clan. Other than that, that's the Centipede clan. We're gonna move on playing Centipede characters. Let's go to the new schools. We're gonna go to what is really powerful and what is not really. I guess like the Agasha Alchemist school is perfectly fine. Like, I like the school. The mastery ability isn't overpowered too for being a master. It feels good. It feels like you're doing cool things with your character.
Yeah. You can also play a drunk, like making all your potions into stuff that makes you wobbly and tobbly.
Yep. Asahina Envoy School, super underpowered.
Yeah. Another one of those schools that probably could have just been a technique.
And then your mastery ability is mind control. The thing that I hate in all social stuff is mind control, right? This is literally mind control. If you are in a ritual and wait, hold on. No, it wasn't. It is. You gain an ally of a character of a person in that ritual.
Because they feel instantly indebted to you.
Indebted to you. You have mind controlled them, and now they are your friend forever. Ha. Like, bad. The Asahina Envoy School, bad design. Nope.
Yeah.
Hate it.
Don't like it. Even as a master technique, it feels very overpowered. Something that should be done only in social situations where you've earned the right to get an ally.
Yeah. The Ishiken Initiate School, OP as fuck.
So powerful.
And I suppose it feels overpowered. I was just thinking, the Envoy, I suppose it feels overpowered because it's a permanent ally, and there are not a lot of school abilities that give you a permanent effect like that, like a permanent addition to your character
I don't think it's overpowered. I think it is a mastery ability. I just don't like any rules that make a person do something that they might not normally do, and it just says.
But isn't that like a lot of techniques that give people strife and then make you leave a scene and then or force you to dishonor yourself? Like, those are all forcing people to do things that they wouldn't do.
Strife is different. Like, strife is, if you give someone strife, they're like marking off hit points. They're marking off it feels more like an attack.
Well, not that. I mean, there's abilities that are like, if someone's strife is at max, force them to dishonor themselves or leave the scene. That's like a technique that Kuranagi has. Like, there are things that are like, fool everyone with vigilance lower than this into thinking this specific thing.
That's true.
Those exist all over the game.
Those aren't permanent.
That's
what I was saying. This is permanent, which is why it feels
the other thing that
not
feels
great. If I was writing this, I would say that it lasts a certain it lasts a certain number of time, like for a certain duration, or until you use the ability again. So you can get a temporary ally and you can change who the ally
I'd still
is.
say that's really powerful, because think about it like this. If we are all in a ritualistic ceremony of negotiation to try to bring peace to warring factions,
the enemy guy that
now your enemy is instantly an ally.
Yep.
And
you can
that
turn
feels
enemies
like,
into
wait,
allies
what?
like that. Basically, you can do something. If you make somebody do something that's just totally against character,
sure,
I don't like that.
Yeah,
Because
but you could, as a GM, say that, like, tell your player before they pick the school, like, you can only do this on NPCs that already like you.
yeah,
Or non-hostile.
non-hostile.
But then the player would be like, well, you're limiting my ability to use my technique. Blah, blah,
I don't
blah.
want to hear it.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it.
I play a Bayushi Death Dealer. I don't want to hear it.
You're limiting my technique. Then don't play it. Play something else.
Yeah, I agree.
But that's my concept. I don't want you in the game now. You're gone. I'll get somebody else.
I agree that limiting it is probably your best option, but the designers of the game should have inherently had that same red flag go up and be like, oh, maybe we should change this or put some guardrails here so it's not just instant mind control of every enemy you have.
This mastery ability goes with the rest of the ethos of this game in a lot of ways, because if you look at just intrigue scenes, if you make the points that you need to make, the person suddenly agrees with you. So that's already baked into the game.
That's kind of what I was saying, is that there's ways that you can mind control people through succeeding a series of like using techniques or getting just accomplishing. They're already written into the book, so that's why I didn't feel like it was like so
no. You're right. It is. There are techniques and everything like that do that. I hate them all. They're not good. It's not good writing. It's not good game making for a role playing game. For a video game, who cares? Right. So okay, push and pull is the Ishiken thing. On its own, not totally powerful. You get some rerolls, other classes get that. I think that's fine. But they also get inversions on top of that, which are their own special, like, they get an entire class of things that nobody else gets. And
they're powerful.
They are very powerful on top of their pretty good technique, and then their mastery ability is like, I can mess with your dice rolls, anybody's dice rolls. It is super powerful. So these things are OP as all get out. They break the bank. If you want to if you want to play an OP character, you get this one if you're a twink.
I agree 100%, and I want to make an Ishiken on our next character. It is 100% broken. Will destroy any game.
This isn't the one that you told me about that I wanted to play, right?
This is exactly
This is the one that I wanted to play?
Yep.
I wanted to play this character. I didn't read this. Tarek just told me that you can use void magic and no one else can use it. And then we started talking and I came up with a character concept. I don't even know what they do on their sheet, and I decided I wanted to play them. So that's you can blame Tarek, because I didn't choose that.
Look. Here's the thing. Their concept on their own is cool. You don't need to give them even cooler stuff, way OP stuff, to make people want to play this. And I think it's because the concept of them already are really cool, that they looked at that. The game designer was like, oh, these guys are really cool. I better give them a really cool ability.
I mean, if this bothers you, you could say something like, instead of it being once per scene, because I don't want to have to try to gate how many scenes I give you based on this ability, you could just say once per game.
Once per game, once per day. I don't like per scene or per game stuff. I like per day. You know, once per day you can do something like this.
Well, you can change it to be like that too. It don't matter.
Kaito Spirit Seekers. Kaito Spirit Seekers. We got to move on.
Hold on. Before you go, the only other thing that I have to say about the Ishiken is what puts them over the top is they also get invocations.
Yeah.
They get invocations, they get inversions, they get rituals, they get shuji.
That is
fuck.
They don't get their techniques available, don't include invocations, but you can get them as you go through the ranks. Like at rank 1, you can get air invocations, but then you suddenly can't at rank 2, and you get fire invocations instead. And then at rank 3, you can't get fire inversions. You got to get water inversions instead, or water invocations. So each rank it gets different.
I wanted to say something too, because I was thinking about what you said earlier, Corey, about how you don't like the like those types of abilities in the game where it's like, oh, check all these boxes and all of a sudden you can like swap 360 an enemy or whatever.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with you on that, but also at the same time, like role-playing games do need to have mechanics for like, oh, here's a set of boxes that I check, a set of conditions and actions that I do, and I kill somebody. So in order to be fair, like, it's not like we're killing people in real life or having to do that, right? So it's like, in order to be fair to people who aren't playing I kill you or fight you types, you have to have I check some boxes and I have this social outcome. And it can't just
Sasha,
be purely
I got an
role-play.
entire video about this, about social stuff in the Cypher game, and I go through all of it and what I like and what I think is good. We can't debate this here. We have a review to do. But yeah, I do have opinions. I do have social opinions, and if you want to debate them with me, I'll be happy to do that in the future. We can't do that right now, though.
Well, I wasn't trying to start a debate. I just wanted to reply to what you said earlier, but maybe.
Okay, Kaito Spirit Seeker School. I forgot what this one does. Oh yeah, you put kami inside of you, and then the kami give you superpowers. Not really good superpowers. They get to like re-roll dice. You get to re-roll dice. It's fine. I think it's okay.
It's almost like the Sodan Senzo school in the base book.
Mm-hmm. It's perfectly balanced. It's a good school.
Yeah.
Caillou Architect School is borderline useless.
Yeah, unless you want to rearrange your room really quickly.
The mastery ability lets you do it as an action. I think the mastery ability should just be like the regular ability.
Yeah.
That would make it actually useful, and then you can like feng shui a room and change its kind of like spiritual terrain type, and that would be fine. As a base ability, it works. As a mastery ability, I mean, you're technically a samurai. Kitsu Realm Wanderer. Guess what they get to do? They get to change the terrain of anything that they're around as a base ability.
And bring the planes together and then teleport to them later.
I mean,
I thought it was pretty sick.
It's awesome.
It wasn't overpowered at all when I played it, but in my opinion, it was kind of, sometimes it was kind of useless, but it was fucking cool as shit. That's all I care about. It was cool as shit.
So basically, there's a whole bunch of like realm, like if you overlap realms, you get like special abilities. So you get to look through each one of the realms and be like, I want to bring this one here to heal us all, or I want to bring this one here to give everybody more focus or less.
Usually what they would do is they like they cause terrain qualities, and they make a certain type of roll easier and a certain type of roll harder.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember correctly, that's what they each do.
And each one of the different realms that you can turn into that terrain give special effects. So it's kind of like you get a whole suite of abilities rather than just one ability.
Mm-hmm.
And probably what I would have done is, instead of making it a number of range bands to your current school rank, I would make it so you can only do one per school rank. So every time, at your first school rank, you get to summon one realm that you're like associated with. And then every school rank thereafter, you get to attune yourself to another. I think that would make it a little more good. In line with the other stuff. Yeah.
They also get the magical healing P spell.
I don't know that it's like a super big problem, because each one of the realm effects only does like one, like I said.
Yeah, it doesn't. They don't do a lot.
They bring a terrain quality in, and they make it like hollowed fire or hollowed
But-
air and water, or fucking entangling and hollowed. Like the effects aren't that strong to limit the amount of
No,
options
they're
you
not.
have.
They're not, but you get a good variety of things that you can do.
Which is true, but I don't personally feel like you need to limit it, because it's very situational anyway, because you have to use the terrain quality affects everybody. So if you do something good, it affects everybody, including your enemies. You do something bad, it affects everybody, including your allies. So like,
I think they could have made the coterminous realms ability a bit stronger, and then done what you said.
yeah,
Maybe.
Give you at one per rank that you could call in.
I think so. I think
have
they're
them be
really not.
more
They're really not that strong,
special.
but they're super cool and flavorful. Like,
Mhm.
So Moshi Sun Sentinel School. Your fire spells heal people. I like it. When it comes to Katana Fire, we still are like, how does that work with this technique? Do I still have to make an attack roll against a person I want to heal? But other than that,
I mean, if you were trying to draw blood from your own palm using a knife, would you have to make an attack roll against yourself? No. So, no. Why should you? That seems stupid.
The thing is when you attack anything, even a stone, you have to make a TN2 in this game. So technically, in order to hit somebody other than, I guess, yourself, even if they're like standing very still, you still have to make your TN2.
Sure, but that's when there's stakes. Like, oh, I'm in the middle of a combat and I need to hit this stone because it's going to ring this magic bell that's going to cause this thing to happen. If you're out of combat, oh, I missed, I'm just going to do it again. Why add rolls to things that don't matter? Like, if there's no stakes for failing, then you shouldn't roll the dice. That's silly, goofy shit, Corey.
Because you might get strife. Anyways, Shasuro Shadow Weaver, I like it.
That's cool.
It's flavorful. It's pretty great. At the mastery ability, you summon a shadow assassin. All of it's fucking amazing. I don't think it's too OP.
Huh?
I don't think it's too OP.
I don't either.
I think it's flavorful and good and makes a great character.
I think what actually brings this from being a little overpowered to being kind of standard, in line with a lot of other schools, is the fact that you have to focus on so many different things to make yourself effective. So, while yes, you get access to a lot of stuff and you get some abilities that can really help you, the average player trying to play one of these characters, the amount of XP you're spending in so many different areas to be good at social things, to be good as a shinobi, to be good in a combat, to be a good shugenja.
Yeah.
Your XP is going. You're never going to have a pool of XP that's going to get you ahead in this game.
Shugenja, Bushi, Shinobi. Lots of tags there.
Yeah, you have so much that you have to invest in that. After a while, you're just going to be either really bad at a lot of things, or you're going to find your niche and you're going to focus in.
Going to the chat.
I think the Shishiro Shadow Weaver school is OP. Hear me out. It's because for some reason, Tarek at every single fucking rank gets to learn rank 1 to 2 invocations, rank 1 to 3 shuji, rank 1 to 4 invocations, rank 1 to 5 shuji. And they're not limited by the type. They're not limited by air, fire, water, earth. They're not limited by close range,
Sasha's
melee.
mad because her class limits every single one of those groups are limited to like this specific thing.
Look, almost every Shugenja gets all of the invocations that they get to cast.
Why don't I get it?
Because
Give it to me, Tori.
Because it's void magic. You get the cooler stuff. Anyways, I got chat. Johnny Rico says, City of Rich Frog needs to be a box set campaign book. Yes, I agree.
Agreed.
Very, very much agree. Not that it has anything to do with the current conversation. Yeah, I know. Moshi Sun Sentinel School is baller for a PC party. I know. You have a heal bot with you. Very, very good.
Except she can't help wounded people.
Yeah, all it
That's what
does is
Kurenagi-
remove fatigue. She
That's
can't
when
help
Kurenagi
heal
has to
actual
show up and be
injuries.
like, okay, let me figure out how to get your arm back on.
I mean, that is the difference between like the rules and the game. What is it called? Ludo something
Ludonarrative
dissonance, right?
Yeah, ludonarrative dissonance.
Ludonarrative dissonance, where the narrative says Soshis are very good at healing and healed this Emerald champion, and that's why they became a clan. What are their abilities? You get rid of fatigue.
Yeah. You give somebody some water, but it's fire.
Drink.
It's burning water.
But it's also like the stupidity of this game, not the stupidity, but the just how they wanted to put this game together with fatigue and wounds being two separate things.
The dissonance between a game's lore and story and the mechanics they
Yeah.
have to give you to actually be able to use it as a player character.
You know what else, as a box set, I would love to see from this edition of the game? The Fall of Oda Sanucci.
Fall of Odo Sanucci.
Because it would
I don't think
give
they're
you...
going there.
I know, but hear me out. I think it would something like the Fall of Oda Sanucci, because it would give you a practical mass combat resolutions, fortifications, siege stuff like that would make it the mass combat in this game better. They could put it under a microscope and really dig into how that's supposed to work. And I think that is very much missing right now. It doesn't feel like it works well, in my opinion.
Okay. Otaku Stable Master. We're gonna move on to the Otaku Stable Master, and
Should
you
be
might-
male only class.
you might think that I will say this is underpowered, but I rather like this. Like, it kind of is underpowered just a little bit, but I'm still digging it. Just like, I find an animal and then I ride it, and then when I'm done with the animal, it goes off into the sunset. And then I find another animal, another friend, and then that
Is
becomes
this why
my
Derek said it has to be a male-only class?
No, it's a male-only class because otaku men are not allowed to ride their horses. So they have to find shit elsewhere, or they work the stables. The otaku are a very, very, very matriarchal family with very stringent rules,
As
and they
should.
like in the old card game, all of the Unicorn Clan cards had like personalities had the cavalry trait, except for the otaku men. If it was an otaku and it has a man on the card, it did not have the
So
cavalry
you're telling
trait.
me that men should not be allowed to use this class, and that's why there's a lady on the horse.
Well, no, because the battle maiden class is one thing. These are the stable masters. They're the ones who are supposed to take care of the horses, and they're not allowed to ride the otaku steed, so they have to go out into the woods and find some other horse to ride, or an elk or something.
Come here, deer, slow
Yeah.
down!
That's why they have to do this, because they're not allowed to touch the real horses. Otherwise, they get their hands cut off by
Oh.
their wife.
Fair enough. I get it now.
That's my internal logic for this.
I thought
class.
they just became pikemen. I didn't think that they were the stable masters. I thought the otaku,
They were the
the
they were
women.
stable
I thought the
masters.
women still took care of their horses as if they were like a member of the family.
They do, but they also
They each
had
all have a male twink that is whose
they
job is
had
only to
they
take
had
care
their
of horses.
husbands like take care of the horses, but they couldn't ride the horses. They would
They
like
had their
clean
husbands.
them and
They had their husbands take care of the horses, Corey. Don't you know that's why they call it animal husbandry?
exactly. Now we're on the same page.
See, I went the totally wrong way. I thought you said, because I don't know enough about the lore to get this joke, when you were like, this has to be a male-only class, and Corey was like, you go into the woods, you find something random, you ride it, it trots off into the sunset. I was like, oh, so it's
That's
just
what this-
like, you know...
That's what this class
You find a
does.
lady and freak her, and then you let her go.
Yeah.
That's why it's male-only.
You go, you bang the deer, and then you let it go.
Yeah, that's
Never
what I
have
was
to
like.
see each other again.
But yeah-
She won't call you for child support.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: you make a survival or theology check. If you succeed, you discover a rideable animal, and then you have it forever until you want to release it, and then you can find another one. And the mastery ability is you summon the swarm of animals. Attack bunnies, go! Like it's great. It's wonderful.
Squirrels.
Squirrels. Squirrel girl it.
Feed me, and all these squirrels just run out of
Go,
the
my
woodwork.
horde of 100 tiny venomous snakes.
Basically, yeah. It's wonderful. It's great. It's not the most powerful thing in the world, but I want to play it anyways because it sounds fun. It's just a
It
fun
also
thing.
is the only class I have ever seen that starts with a bag of horse treats.
Does it?
It does.
Striking.
So we can't have
Where do you
lanterns
see?
in
Where do you
Look
see?
in the
this fucking
starting
game,
outfit.
but we can have a bag of horse treats. Really?
Starting outfit. Bag of
Bag.
horse treats right there at the bottom.
Of course, this game doesn't have lanterns, but it has a bag of horse treats.
Okay. New
No
advantages.
lanterns, no torches, no nothing.
But you got horse treats.
You had to print the horse treats. More
I want to know
important.
what the horse treats are. They apples?
Are they carrots? Are they broccoli?
Are they little candies?
Are they like Scooby snacks? Do they give the horse magical powers?
Are they treats
Do they
for-
remove the horse's fatigue?
Are they treats for your horse, or are they treats for
Horse-shaped
you that are
treats.
horses?
Horse-shaped
Horse
treats
meat.
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like dino
okay.
nuggets.
New advantages. Right? So this is what a good social rule looks like. Potentious birth. You are known among your clan or family to have been born under blessed circumstance that have some sort of mark or other indication of greatness bestowed upon you by heaven. When you interact with someone who knows of your pretentious birth and believes in his power, they treat you favorably and may be inclined to give you special privileges as long as you don't give them a reason to treat you otherwise. That is perfect. I like that as a social rule. Well done.
I
It's
think I
the
had that
advan-
one on Kaideko.
It's an advantage I'm going to take on my next character because I am now learning that it exists.
Yeah, I think you told me about this one. I
know,
took it on Kaideko.
I know I did. I'm just playing.
Famously kind. Other people have heard of your exceptional kindness and they believe it unless given evidence to the contrary.
See, I
Like that one too.
Kuranagi deserves that one. I am exceptionally kind to people until I kill them.
New passions. Bathing. That's an interesting one. Festivals.
Doesn't
I love.
doesn't Daisuke have bathing as his passion?
No.
He should if his disadvantage is uncleanliness.
Yeah, it's disadvantage.
I could have sworn he did. Somebody does.
No, not in
Unless
this.
he doesn't like
Not
to
in
put
our
out his
current
right side,
Shadow
so he
Empire.
feels-
So bathing is great. I love that as a passion. Festivals, like in concept, sound like a good passion, but now you have to wait
Rare.
for a certain day to get rid of 3 strife.
Yeah, it sounds
rare. Unless your GM is coming up with festivals and you're like traveling around and each city has a different festival going on.
And the
And even then, it's so rare.
And the second ability, you can always find the best activities of a festival, also like so rare. But I mean, clutch if you need it.
What's the best activity to do at this fair?
I have to ask because I was thinking about what would be a way to change this into something that would be available almost everywhere in a town. Do they have like a brothel like passion? Like
Yes, they do.
they exist?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because it has to. I'm like, it has to, right?
I really like the Kyoto advantage. I think
What?
that one makes a lot of sense.
I would change interacting at festivals to get rid of 3 strife to like anything that has to do with a festival. If you are on like a committee for an upcoming festival to produce it,
Plan it.
every time you go to that committee or every time you talk to somebody about getting them into doing your festival shit with you, 3 strife.
Yeah.
It's like,
Or like trying to start your own festival.
yeah, it's like, oh yes, my lord, the shipments of grains are coming. We have negotiated that with the crane, and the war effort is going well. On another note, the festival. I would like to bring up the note about the festival. I think we can have a great one this year. 3 strife.
Like trying to convince your friends to play board games with you.
Yeah. The same
Yeah,
thing
it's never gonna happen, but you should remove strife for talking about it.
The same
Yeah.
thing with kabuki. I mean, like, if you have a kabuki fetish and you're like a kuni, does every time you put on your face paint give you Get rid
Or
of
every
the stripe.
time your friends on the wall start trying to put together their shitty little kabuki
I don't
act.
see why not, because if your passion is drinking, you can literally have an alcohol
drink.
something with you
I
all the
mean,
time.
why not,
and
right?
Anytime you want. So
I
I don't see
agree.
why you shouldn't make these other kind of unique distinctions, like passions, be easier to access. Like, why not? If your character has a kabuki passion and they put up their face paint and they over dramatically say hello when you open the door, like, fucking lose 3 strife. Why not?
I greet them, yo.
Exactly. Like, everyone else gains 3 strife, obviously, but you lose 3 strife.
Freaking everybody out with your makeup.
I grab the giant oversized fan and unfurl it at the Oni. I'm losing 3 stripe.
Yo.
Okay. Anxieties, conspiracy, bad omen of bad luck.
Conspiracy, by the way, I was gonna bring this up.
Okay,
Conspiracy, all of us in the Shadow Empire game should be forced to pick up the conspiracy disadvantage.
I totally agree with Tarek, by the way.
Because
Like,
we know too much now.
I
don't know if you remember, but I
agree.
was going to start with this disadvantage to make Kuranagi even more paranoid about everything because she knows all the bullshit that goes on behind the
I
scenes.
think if no one else, Kuranagi needs this disadvantage because she's
will-
being hunted by her own clan.
I will
right
willingly
now.
take this disadvantage.
So here's the
Because
thing.
it-
I don't want to give anybody this disadvantage because you will be getting it it'll be hitting every other game. And so I'd rather, like, this is the point of the game, and if I'm constantly giving you, it puts you on the back foot always. No, I'm not doing that. That would be, I think that would be not
But
great.
I get Void back whenever I need to.
That's true.
By being paranoid as fuck.
Uncleanliness.
Conspiracy disadvantage doesn't trigger literally every game session just because the game session is about.
Yeah, it literally only triggers when you meet people unfamiliar in a position of authority.
An authority figure that's unfamiliar, which that should totally be it. When Kuranagi's forced to interact with an authority figure, we don't know if they're part of the Gozoku or not. Like,
That's
that is
true.
cool.
That might be okay. Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Like, this could be a really cool thing for people to take in Shadow Empire.
Especially Kuranagi, because she's paranoid of everybody.
Omen of bad luck. Interacting with someone for superstitious, like anything that has to do with omens.
Yeah, bad juju.
A black cat crosses your path, gain 3 strife. Vanity, uncleanliness. Yep, all of
It used
these.
to be called
breaks.
superstitious. Remember that?
A ladder falls in front of you.
Bad omen. Omen of bad luck used to be called superstitious, and it was another disadvantage you could take.
New adversities are all elemental based, and I don't see why not. That's fine.
Yeah.
They're kind of lame.
They are.
Personally.
Void is not here
They're
because
kind of not super obvious. So it's like you're going to be arguing whether or not it affects you or not all the time because they're not really clear about what would be doing this except for directly interacting with a spirit of that element, which is kind of lame because that doesn't happen often unless PCs initiate it.
Or unless the GM is making a campaign that's all about spirits.
Yeah. I don't know. I think those are kind of lame, but the rest of them are really cool.
new gear and items. So you got some spiritual artifacts like the Sacred Reins, the Daikoku's Mallet, the Candles of the Moth, the Golden Obi of the Sun Goddess. The thing I don't like about any of these is that to activate them, you have to make a really hard theology check.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
and
it's a magical item. Why don't they just work?
And when the hell are you ever going to get these? That's the other problem that
Right?
I have with Nemorani, named Nemorani like this in L5R forever. They always are like so awesomely powerful and great, but your GM is never going to give them to you because they're held by like Jatori Sudao or the Empress or the clan champion. And when are they going to give you their fucking weapon?
Yeah,
or
why are these
Yeah,
over
Obi of the
here?
Sun
L5R
Goddess.
does need to make more magic items that aren't like NPC specific. I feel like
You're absolutely right. We need just like good not garbage magic items, but like magical items that anybody can get. Like in Dungeons and Dragons, anybody can find that +1 sword or like a flaming sword and feel cool.
They try with patterns, but patterns you have to have a smith with you, or you have to go to a smithing village and then you have to pay for it. And where are you gonna get the fucking money to pay for it? Like, you get paid 4 koku a year. Like, good luck. Like,
and I've tried,
so
like, I gave y'all
more accessibility.
I gave y'all in my Shadow Empire game some cool magical items.
I agree.
Yeah.
Those were really cool. They were niche, but they were really cool and flavorful. I wish
the magic
L5R
item you gave me literally
standardized
shaped
that.
my build. I decided to start picking up techniques and stuff that would work better because of my magic item. So I quite literally changed my fighting style and developed around the magic item you gave me.
New arrows. This is what you love, Tarek. The new arrows.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about them.
Okay, so considering Kurenagi as an archer, I love it.
It's the only reason it's
Every
on
time,
radar.
it's not just because my character is. Every time L5R used to have a ton of arrows, right? Older editions, you had flesh cutters, you had humming bulbs, you had armor piercing, you had rope cutters, you had regular yaw, you had flaming arrows that you could do, and all of those went away at the beginning of this edition. You had just your basic yaw. That was the only arrow type that they described. Later on, they described the humming bulb, the flesh cutter, and the armor piercing, and that was it. And every time they add more arrows, I get excited because now you have variety. Now you have something to look forward to besides just shooting your one fucking regular ass arrow. And that's it. Every turn you do the same goddamn thing. When you add new arrow varieties, you get so much more creativity out of your players with what they're going to do and how they're going to use it. Like the rope cutter, I think in one of the games we were playing, I used the rope cutter arrow to like stop somebody from escaping from like a scene. A ninja was running up the wall and I shot the arrow and cut the grappling hook thing and they fell down. In older editions, we used to do that kind of stuff all the time. It creates these really interesting moments. And these specific new arrows are awesome. One that radiates bright light so you can extend the vision range of what you're seeing or what's going on in front of you. Awesome. The Hayama one, extra deadliness, extra damage against otherworldly beings. So you have like this spiritual arrow. It makes you feel like you're like a spirit hunter, which is perfect for like the Kaito, the Toritaka. Even my character, who's supposed to be a former, her family was a member of the what are they called? The scorpion evil hunters. I forget what they're called off the top of my head. But yeah, they do the Kuroiban. The Kuroiban. Yeah. And then the Soul Star arrow is awesome. The freaking elemental attuned arrows, like making a whole area of obscuring terrain. Kurenagi would use that shit constantly. It's a smoke bomb whenever you want.
Okay, hold on. I need to say something.
Yeah.
The three of us should band together and write a L5R supplement for this edition, an item supplement. Because the items in L5R are sorely lacking. We need mundane items. We need consumable items. We need light sources. We need all sorts of shit. We need magic items. Like, you could sell that on GM's Guild or whatever. Like, fucking.
That's true.
It's so sorely lacking.
Generically, samurai themed item catalog that happens to be compatible with L5R 5th edition.
And we need to. Personally, I would fix weapons because so many weapons are never like. If you look at the weapons catalog. This is my issue. If you look at the weapons catalog, there are objectively correct options, and everything else sucks. And there's no reason you would ever take it.
Yeah, like why would you? How would you ever try to kill somebody with a
exact
Tetsubo?
Same properties, and some of them just do objectively more damage and have no downsides to using them. And it's a big problem where there's not enough variety. There's like an illusion of variety, but you're never going to use them because they are not interesting.
The Naginata is the best weapon, just hands down. The best weapon.
I think the best weapon is the Uchigatana, which is introduced in this book.
There just needs to be more variety of weapons, and some weapons that are better than something like a katana, but have actual drawbacks to using them, but aren't just such big drawbacks that are like you can't move on your turn.
I'm gonna push back on you because the Uchigatana has a range of 1 and a damage of 3 and a deadliness of 6, which makes it pretty great, and it's Razor's Edge. A Naginata has a range of 1 to 2. Has a damage of 6, a deadliness of 6, and is razored edged.
Yeah. No, Naginata is objectively the best weapon in the game. I thought you said katana, and I was like,
I
well, if we're
also
talking
heard
about swords,
katana.
I'm sorry,
katana is my favorite.
Naginata.
Yeah, the
That's what I meant.
Naginata, 100%.
That's the best weapon in the game.
It is.
And
the
no,
best.
I have an argument. It's cumbersome. Do you know what that means? It's shit now. Because you can't move on the same turn as you attack with it,
Oh, is
or
it
your
cumbersome?
attack, you have to reroll dice.
Is it cumbersome? I did not know that.
It increases-
It's cumbersome.
yeah, it is
I have it
cumbersome.
on my character sheet. It's
But
cumbersome.
it increases the TN
I
of your
have a
attack.
Naginata.
It increases the TN of your attack by 1.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. It
Yeah.
makes attacking harder.
You're right. It is cumbersome. Ooh, I did not notice that.
But
I have one.
but
And Naurin only uses it. I only got it because I thought we were going to be fighting on horseback a lot. And I almost never use it because it's cumbersome.
it makes sense if you're holding a position.
Yes.
Then it's the most powerful fucking weapon. I know because I wielded a Naginata as a ninja character in a previous campaign, The Sins of Regret, and she
It's also war
ripped
gear, so you can't
people
carry it
to shit.
around in a city.
I carried it around the city. The people just hated me for it
Well,
and
exactly.
tried to arrest
it's
me. But I
war
was a
gear
Ronin, so I
and
was
it's
like,
cumbersome.
whatever.
So
I-
it has drawbacks.
I would like to say one thing about the weapons in this book. I am super happy to see the Shakjo, the monk staff with all of the cool little rings on them.
The ring,
They weren't
yeah,
in the AEG books at all. I spent
They had a ringed sword and they didn't have a ringed staff.
I spent days researching what this staff was, going to like the depths of the internet trying to figure this out. It took me days to figure out what this staff was, and I asked like my game master, I want this staff because I'm a monk. I'm like a fortunistic monk. Can I? And he was like, well, there's no rules for it. And I'm like, just make it a regular bow staff and use those rules. And we'll just say it has rings on it. And he's like, okay.
Yeah.
Where did Sasha go?
I think she had to go to the restroom real quick.
Okay.
It should have had this ensnaring quality though.
Yeah. Something like that. Something like to help it disarm things. Cause that's what the ring is for, is actually to like grab things and yank them out of their hands.
I'm saying in this edition, it should have it only has a ceremonial quality. It doesn't have the ensnaring quality. It should have the ensnaring quality.
Ancestral Swords of the Crab. Again, a bunch of swords that you'll never use. In fact, it says in it, we don't use these swords.
Yeah.
Here, as a result, the Great Clan's ancestral swords are rarely used because they date from the dawn of the Empire, blah, blah, blah. They don't want to use them. Yeah. So huh? But we're going to spend a bunch of pages on these, on shit that you're never going to use. So that's great. New techniques. Okay. So I didn't read all these techniques. So let's go to the techniques, the air invocations. Let's just go to invocations. Talk about some of the ones that you like, Tarek. Some of the ones you...
The Dream Painter is really cool. I've
used that. I've used that on several of my NPCs, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's really good. Messengers of Chikushiro, really boring. Like, you get an animal to go and deliver a message for you. And it's rank 3. Yeah.
Which you could do with a very trained bird anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
That you buy.
Fading Dream is a rank 5. It is really interesting because you can it's super easy to cast, TN2, and everybody forgets what you just did.
Modify
I was never here.
It's rank 5, it says, not rank 2. Oh, it's TN2 to do it. Yeah.
TN2 to cast.
Yeah. That's easy.
And you cloak yourself in dreams. You have to have enough bonus successes to allow to get over the vigilance of the NPCs around you. But at a TN2 at rank 5 is probably going to hit some pretty high vigilances, and then you just disappear. They forget everything about you. You run away.
All right.
Great spell. I want to get it at rank 5. I only get access to it at rank 5.
What is it? That Dream Painter?
Earth.
No, it's called Fading Dream. The Dream Painter I already have.
Oh.
The Earth Invocations, Bonds of the Realms. This is much more of like a like a control spell where you're reducing the person's endurance and composure by 3. And that lets you like get an edge on them. I feel like this is a very Kitsu.
It's one of those smite spells. Remember another book? There was a school that said your smites are something or other, and we were like, "What is a smite?" They exist, This is one of them.
They-
There are very
but they
few.
Are
don't-
you
of them.
sure that wasn't Legend of Rokugan? The
No, it was
the ebook?
no, it was 100% one of the other books in the. It was a rule in. I don't know if it was the main book or
No, it wasn't the
it
main
was one of
book.
the books we were covering.
Yeah, definitely.
But this is one of the smite spells, and they do not elaborate on what smite spells are or label them. You just have to read the word smite in the text.
in the
I guess,
text
like,
somewhere hidden.
somewhere. Emboldened steed, you get to ride your horse better.
Woohoo.
Yeah, great.
Rank 3.
Super fast. It doesn't get exhausted. They can just keep on keeping on.
That should be a rank 1 spell.
You're the only person riding a horse in your
It should be a
campaign,
rank 1
which-
spell.
When are you ever going to do that? Why doesn't it target other horses? Can
I
you
don't-
target more horses? Yes,
targeting
you can.
any number of mounts.
Good. Because
Yeah.
otherwise, if it's just your horse, that's kind of useless as hell.
It keeps them calm. It removes exhausted. It can heal them. I think.
See, this
Heal
is
horses.
this is what we needed on
Yeah,
the.
But
in
nobody
Shin
knew.
Forest.
Nobody was a horse
Well,
specialist.
I'm not a Shugenja, so I can't.
There
Yeah,
were
but
2
none of us are
Shugenjas.
horse Shugenja.
There were 2
Come on.
Shugenjas, and neither one of them were Earth Shugenja, so they never look at Earth invocations.
Yeah, and not only that, but we're not horse Shugenja. We're people Shugenja. Come on.
Or people.
That's for
Fair.
the male otaku to do.
But we don't have a male otaku.
We got an Ide. That's close enough.
You just
Um,
force him to do it.
Yeah,
He's a man.
exactly.
the hard work, whatever.
Guardians of the Secret Gate is actually an awesome spell. I really like this. Summon ancestor spirits from Yomi. This is definitely like a Kitsu spell to like bring down the heavens upon your opponents. It's fucking amazing. But it's a rank 5 Earth spell, and I don't think any of the Kitsu are Earth Shugenja.
They're water
specifically.
Shugenja, yeah.
Yeah, so you have to
They
kind
can
of
still take
build
Earth
yourself.
spells. They're just not as good as that.
Yeah,
at
but
them.
TN5 Theology Earth, that you got a high Earth.
You really
Earth
do.
to cast it.
Anything TN5 is nigh impossible.
Yeah, but it's an awesome spell. I love it. The vibes work on that spell. I kind of wish it was a water spell so that Kitsu could actually make use of it, but yeah, whatever. Amaterasu's Gaze, level 1, pleasant ray of sunlight.
That's what Sora uses.
Yeah, Moshi Sora used this to get rid of the bad terrain qualities. Because there was like
Mhm.
darkness terrain, and she was like, boop, and now it's gone.
Yeah, I like it. It's rank 1. It's great for being
Yeah.
a rank 1 spell. It's
The light
thematic.
negates
I love
the
it.
effect of obscuring terrain within the range it illuminates. Yep, that's what it did.
Fires of Purity. It's basically the same as it has been previously, except it just makes range bands count as dangerous terrain. It just like burns the area around you.
I have to say about Amaterasu's Gaze, I don't know why you can't spend. Why does it only last a number of rounds, but then has 2 opportunity to spend, where it provides enough heat to warm several beings and creatures on a cold night? It's only gonna last you for 3 fucking rounds. How are you gonna warm yourself on a chilly night?
You just keep
Book?
casting it. Just over
And
and over again.
that's two opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What the fuck?
You force your Moshi not to
Look, his
sleep.
face is turning red. I got it.
You force Sora not to sleep, and she just keeps you warming.
Yeah, keep casting it.
Hey, you're our space heater, woman. Wake up.
You're one of those shakeable heat packs. You gotta
Yeah.
stay up.
Keep alive.
You don't get to rest.
We gotta go faster, guys.
Uh,
We're way over time.
Heart of the Sun Lady, the Lady Sun, gives you a brilliant orb of sunlight that I believe deals damage. Smite. Oh, it's another smite spell.
It's another smite smell.
Smite tainted
mate.
beings. There you go.
It's a
Doing
mend
some good
spell, a
damage.
summon spell.
It should be this is one
Smite.
that I'm sure Sora is waiting for, that she wants it, because she can't cast any earth spells, so all of her Jade Striking abilities to take out otherworldly beings is hindered until then. Water Invocations, Fluid Shadows, one I use constantly. It is an amazing spell to let you teleport yourself where you need to get to. Great, as long as you're in shadow. And when you're a Shadow Weaver and you can make your own shadows, even better. Path of Beasts, it's kind of like
Enhanceability.
enhanceability.
I think it's super cool. Enhanced ability is always useful. Are you kidding me?
I mean, this one's interesting because it gives you like better scent, better eyes. You know, it gives you basically the
Imagine
enhanced
being
abilities.
a ninja and you can give yourself fucking eyeball, like eagle eyeballs, so you can spy on people better.
I was about to say,
or...
think about being a ninja and you can give yourself fucking eyeballs. I mean, ninjas usually don't have them.
Ninjas love eyeballs, man.
I already have Ears of the Bat, so I could use it for other things, but it's not bad. It
but
just gives
Elegance of the Moth, decrease your silhouette, stealth checks, or maneuvering. Like, hello?
Yeah.
That would
get
be
into tight
useful.
spaces.
That would have been really great for Naurin when she was dislocating her fucking shoulder to crawl into an evil blood temple.
I
cool.
also, Kurenagi had a way easier time getting in there. But Kurenagi is also a contortionist, so yeah, I mean, she's already good at that kind of stuff. But it's a good spell, solid spell. Reign with 10,000 lotuses. It's Nakatokai's pee on everybody and bring everybody back to life spell.
It's golden rain showers that healed you. So,
literally a golden shower that will heal you a ton, and then also can bring you back. Yes, I was. Bring you back from the brink of death. It can heal dying 3, which is unbelievable. And it just says removes the wounded condition. So like any wound, severe, light, doesn't matter.
That's good. If you're better wounded, for a rank 5 spell. Like, hello.
You're back. It's hello. You're defibrillated. Everybody's back.
But it's such a low TN, which is wild.
Because it depends on bonus successes too.
I guess so. Yeah.
So it's not hard to pull off, but if you want to actually get some stuff, you need a lot of extra bonus successes.
You can always pee on people, but in order to make it magic, you need to put in some work.
Yeah, and if you want to give the benefits, you have to get a lot of opportunity too. There's a lot of opportunity.
You gotta bear down.
Exactly. You got to really make that stream move.
All right, we're gonna just.
I think we're gonna make it through all the rest of this.
We're gonna go through the rituals.
Every single one
The
individually.
rituals are interesting. They're very basic. The prayer of protection is probably the most interesting one, and the whispers of the moon cult, because moon cults are cool.
Moon cult.
I took Blessing of the Dance on Kaidako. It was fun.
Yeah.
You could heal people doing a little jig.
Right of the Wheel is also probably a really good one to have.
I had that one too.
Mysteries of the Void, the goddamn inversions. Like, this is all of your Void Shugenja stuff. It is so complicated for one, and two, oh my god, powerful.
Determining magnitude, cosmic strain. Yeah,
unbelievably powerful. The only balancing fact is that your magnitude and strain can really fuck up the world and destroy like things, so you got to be really careful about when and how you use stuff. But you have the power of endless. You have like endless power in your hands. Go forth and destroy.
Wish spell. Ba-boom.
So
basically, there's so many things.
Give me one great inversion that is
unweave.
Just, huh?
Unweave.
We're getting there.
The last one. But unweave literally just unweave something.
Target is a mundane jar. You blind it to unreality. You bind it to unreality, and it ceases to exist. Sure. Yeah, the you win spell. You got it.
Yeah, you take fatigue equal to the thing's conflict rank plus silhouette, but if you succeed, it disappears.
Literally, that's what this guy is doing for the bridge.
If it's an NPC, they suffer supernatural damage that is unresistible equal to your theology.
Okay.
And you can add magnitudes to it to make it even more powerful.
Chapter 3. Putting together religious groups. I think this is really great. It helps walk people through the process if you're not good with doing that kind of a thing. So
if you're a heathen like us.
Or if you wanted to make a campaign based around specific new cults or spiritual sects, this will help you out immensely in trying to do that. It also gives you great adventure hooks for crafting, like what if you wanted to do a adventure in the spirit realms. Here's specific like game hooks that you can use in your games. If you wanted to go into Tengoku, if you wanted to go into Yomi, if you wanted to go into Yumido, whatever, they have so much world building and like adventure building content here that it's really helpful if you're trying to find out how to run a game in that world or include some aspects of those different realms into your game world. It's very helpful. This is one of the most like amazing parts. Then they also have the stuff about pulling in the realms, the rules for how the Kitsu
So the worst part,
realm wanderer works.
can I give a little criticism here?
Yeah.
Designing a supernatural NPC doesn't tell you how to design a supernatural NPC. No, it's terrible. Please give me step-by-step processes of what you want for my rings and the advantages and disadvantages and what a supernatural weapon looks like on a supernatural creature. Is a claw like 5 damage and 4 deadliness for a supernatural claw? Tell me these things.
Yeah.
No, we don't get any of that.
It literally just says, you know the rules, make it up and make it spooky.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hate it. You can
that's
F
not good.
for this part. Just for this part.
Everything else is pretty good.
Yeah, everything else is pretty good.
They give you some interesting NPCs to play with as well, and a new title where you bond with spirits, or you can become a moon cultist if you want.
Sure.
Want to be a moon person?
Yes.
You're a moon person.
I want to be Moon.
You are
I wish to
moon.
be
There's
worshipped.
only one new NPC back here, the Baku. But they do give the 2 NPC templates for being a Phoenix Clan Samurai or Centipede Clan Samurai, which, good, finally. Yeah, give us those templates. You started, the main book started with templates, and then extra books for each clan would maybe give you more templates for those clans. Like, we get Crab, we got Phoenix, but we didn't get, I don't think we got Dragon. I don't think we got a couple of the clans.
I don't think we got Lion either.
Yeah.
They do tenets of Bushido righteousness.
Yes, they did.
And then they do this body of Bushido, which I thought was actually kind of fascinating. The tools of righteousness.
Yes.
They're interesting. The ending of this book I thought was really interesting.
There's a lady without a face on it.
They also give you new honor hits for trifling sacrifices and trifling breaches.
Yeah, I kind of like these. These trifling breaches and sacrifices here are pretty great. Like, enduring ridicule and scorn. Not talking back to your opponent can give you some honor. How about that? But feigning or getting actual offense when someone points out that you're actually in the wrong. Like, I know a lot of people will be like, it's not my fault I didn't know that I was wrong. It's still a breach of honor.
Yeah.
You're still taking it. And people will whine and say that's unfair. And really, like, sometimes ignorance is dishonorable. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, honor is a very rigid, impractical, and nearly impossible thing to maintain. So, like, yeah, I get it. It's a paradoxical situation that all samurai are in, where you're expected to be perfect all of the time, and that is possible.
I like allowing the fear of a personal loss to influence your decision. Like, I need to defeat this thing, but if I do, I'll destroy my weapon, and I don't want to do that, so I think I'm just going to retreat. Do you lose honor for that?
Yeah.
Is that... I don't know. Like... Anyways, that's this book. You said the lady without the face. That's on page. Yeah, I got that right here. So that is a Nanube, which is a member of the Lying Darkness, which
I
is
love them.
sometimes alluded to. They're freaking
You were
amazing.
just calling me out there. It took me like 10 seconds of processing.
Yeah.
Nanube is what I wanted Kuranagi to be originally. Which I think, by the way, Corey, I'm gonna make a forecasting, and I may be way off base, but I would literally shit myself if this was the case. If we got all the way through this adventure, and then we found the Sage Between the Stars, and the Sage Between the Stars was Kuranagi, and the entire time I had been actually playing an Nanube who had the memories of Kuranagi, and that was the fucking twist. I would shit myself. I
don't want to clean up after him.
Holy fuck, Corey! It would have blown my mind. I know that's probably not where you're going with this, but that would have been, since I was.
Well, he definitely can't do it now because you just said it on stream.
I know.
So
no,
you fucking ruined all your chances, man.
Only half the people are gonna watch this before
I'm not George Lucas, and when I'm called out on what I was actually planning, I'm not gonna scrap it and do something, because that's what I believe. That's what George Lucas did with the prequels, because Timothy Zahn was like, "Hey, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and there's a clone war. Is Obi-Wan Kenobi a clone?" And George Lucas is like, "No, you didn't figure anything out."
Yeah.
That's what they were.
My beloved. That's all. That's all that matters.
I'm just saying that would have been the mindfuck of the century, and I would
pass away.
I would pass away.
Shit,
I'd be like, "Holy shit, Corey, this has been unbelievable storytelling at that point."
Naurin having to fight Kurenagi would break my fucking heart.
Like the real Kurenagi versus the like
Lying Darkness
fake
version
Kurenagi who just thinks she's Kurenagi. Like that would be. Anyway,
see, you should have kept that in off stream, Tarek. Inside thought, Tarek.
It's been an inside thought in my head since the first game of the Shinman Forest. That's what I've been thinking in my head this whole time.
Listen, if that was real, it would mean that Naurin could start collecting sages again, like Pokemon cards.
True.
We had to skip a few because one was a wrinkly old man and the other was a fucking child.
It would also make sense why that one dude was so fucking freaked out by Kurenagi and was like, "She can't be here. Get her the fuck out of here." It just, I don't know. Anyway, let's start rating, right? Talk
ratings. Yes, we got to put this on the list of things that we need to do. Give me 1 second. Give me a moment here. I gotta grab this picture of Celestial Realms, do a little screen grab, and then put it in here. Boom. It's way too big. Dang it. We're gonna make it tiny.
This stream took 2 hours. Is this what happens when I show up?
Yeah.
All right.
We enjoy our time a lot more.
I'm gonna say that this goes on the shelf for the players. This is like one of those must-have supplements.
I disagree. I think this is a must-have for everybody, GM and players.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. When I say players, I mean for like everybody. If a player needs it, then obviously the narrator needs it.
The GM needs it. Yeah.
Fair. Then yes, I agree 100%. Put it on your shelf. It is
top tier.
Amazing resource for plot building, for world building, for player like abilities, equipment,
for horse treats,
for pets, for everything. It's
fun
so
for the
good.
whole family.
Yep.
Bring your wife and your mistress.
What's your favorite part of the book? Should I go first?
Ooh, yeah, go first.
I like Gakido. I think this is the best portrayal of Gakido I've seen in one of these L5R supplement books, and I love it. And that's my favorite part of the read that I've had. Yeah, it was Gakido.
I was tempted to say the description of the realms was really good because it's something that is neglected in just about every other book. But since you already kind of touched on that, I will say I really enjoy the equipment, the new equipment they made. They need more of it. And the ability to, like, all of the adventure plotting material in the third chapter. It's very helpful, very informative. It will give life to your world that would otherwise be neglected. So don't miss out on like reading through that, taking ideas, what fits and what doesn't, and then adding it to your campaign, because your players will feel like this world is more alive as a result.
Okay, and Sasha.
Horse treats.
Horse treats. Yes.
Best thing in the world.
Horse treats. No, I like a lot of stuff, but you guys already talked about it. My favorite thing was the realms and the realm descriptions.
Yeah.
I also really liked the minor. You also said equipment. I really liked the other boons. Like I have a boon of what the fuck. Well, that's not it. But
Hattori?
I have a boon on my character
Hotai?
sheet as Naurin, which is called the Boon of Bishamon, and they had 3 additional boons that were really cool that I didn't know about because I didn't read the equipment section.
Oh yeah,
before.
the Omori, which are tokens.
The Omomori.
Omomori.
Yeah, and there's one that's literally just the entirety of Courtier's Resolve. Just gives you courage to
that's the one
you
that
have it.
that Kuronagi had that she gave to that dude.
Yeah.
That was like an enemy. She was like, "Here, take this."
You can just buy these at the store.
You can just buy it.
Yeah,
and I didn't know
did.
about that, and I wish I did. But
I bought you one.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I bought you the one from. Didn't I buy you? I bought like 3, and I handed them out at the beginning of the.
You did not. I bought my own, and I only have Boon of Bishamon.
And then I gave them to somebody else.
Yeah.
I
had 3 of them, and I gave them
horse
away.
treats.
Johnny Rico says Sly Stallone did Rocky 5 when the script leaked. They changed the whole movie.
Yeah.
Johnny Rico also says, in all, Celestial Realms became one of my favorite books in 5e.
Yeah, it's really good.
Then somebody without a tag says, favorite WTF part of the book, because they put Ofushkai in there. They put most, if not all, of the clan swords in there, and no one would suspect that's where they are. Yeah, they put all the clan swords here.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, and no one's going to use them ever.
Yeah.
It's
That's
so
the sad
silly.
part.
Okay. Thank you, Tarek and Sasha, for joining me and giving me different perspectives other than my own on this, because I'm up my own butthole a lot. Me and Sasha both have very not narrow, I want to say just very passionate ideas. That's what it is. Passionate. We're passionate about what we think we want from a role playing game.
I will use plenty of lube when I extract you from your own butthole.
I think
but Sasha, when I call you out, you go kicking and screaming out of your own butthole. You're like, no, it's nice in here. You don't understand.
Listen, I have a very nice butthole. You like it too. Give it a try. No, you should see me. I'm even worse when it comes to stuff that I know more about, like D&D. I pull my hair out writing systems and stuff for it. So I can be pretty insufferable, but also right.
All right. Thanks to our chatters, Wargias, Jeff, Johnny, and nobody knows. We'll see you next time when we'll do more L5R stuff next week. From Tarek, Sasha, my name is Corey. Go roll some dice.